I got addicted to pornography when I was 16 years old after experiencing a very deep spleen. This is crazy. Over time, I was able at some point to pretty much completely stop watching pornography. The last time I relapsed is probably 2 months ago. What started to happen is that the focus I was putting on pleasurable things is now put on deep things. Oh my God, I feel so much better.
So everyone, for those of you who are watching, I got here Simon, and he's just coming off the intensive actually, and he's willing to share his experience, wins, and all the good stuff that comes with joining the intensive. So, brother, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Simon. I'm a week away from being 33 years old, and I got addicted to pornography when I was 16 years old after experiencing a very deep spleen with the first women that I kissed in my life. And I was like, oh, that felt so good. And it felt really good for years and years and years and years until for 10 years, it really didn't feel good. And I'm a musician, mainly a singer, but my goal and dream, which is turning more into a goal, is to become a singer-songwriter and have my own solo project. And in the meantime, I'm teaching, I'm having corporate gigs so I can have some pile of cash and have a renting building that I can make money of.
Heck yeah, man! Thank you for sharing, brother. And yeah, man, you've been with us for a minute, and man, and where do we start, right? So, but this is mainly about the intensive. So, how was like your experience in the first, let's say, first couple of months, man? How was the difference between coming from the implementation, right? That's where you came from. How was that transition over to a program like the intensive for you?
It felt that kind of, whoa, this is different kind of vibe. What made the intensive insanely different is actually not how long it lasts because of the name of it and because it can feel from my perspective at the time like, okay, it's this like 3 months kind of, let's go, we're doing quickly, we're going really deep but fast. But in reality, it's not about that. What made it vastly different is the compassion that everybody has for everybody, including ourselves too. And when it's lacking, people are calling us out, but it's not really calling us out. It's like people are there to support and hire everybody else. And the mindset is that we assume everybody really wants to do the work. There's not a part of us in our subconscious that like we're clinging on that really does not want to do the work. Everybody wants to. It's just that we have some blockers that we're working on, and we accept how flawed we are as individuals, but at the same time, how great we are too. And so the energy is extremely positive, and in the sense that when it's negative, we can deal it in a so much more mature, compassionate, and empowering way.
Man, I would agree. No, brother, thank you for sharing that. It is truly it is different, man. You got to experience it, right? It's like we could talk about these things and we're like, yeah, the intensive, right? It could feel like it's a pressure cooker, and we're like, yeah, you're gonna, heal XYZ.
Yeah, pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could be that way, but at the same time, it helps you reveal more about like, hey, bro, we're real with you there, right? We tell you
Yeah.
how it is, right? JK will call your ass out, and it's out of love and compassion, not because I like seeing him yell at you. It's more of like, yo, this is what you're doing, bro. Like, what are you gonna do about it? It's like you're faced with the truth, and being able to see like the weekly coaching calls, right? That it's we all struggle in our own way, and it's like our perceived like this perfect rebooted or whatever stage they're at. You get to see like their human side, right? It's not like, oh, these are just people that are hurt and they need help, just like me. So
Yes.
right, so it's kind of like a very interesting dynamic for sure. And brother, so what was like one of your, if any of you had one or more, your breakthroughs as you were navigating through the intensive?
I would say that the biggest breakthrough that I had thinking about it was when I opened up about a wound that I experienced with my parents when I lifted them at the airport. And I realized that my parents are starting to age in a way that, quite frankly, I believe they're not entirely there, and it felt like they didn't care that much for me. And then when I talked about it and opened up about this hurt, people suggested to me to read Letting Go, and that book absolutely transformed my life because it was the first time that I understood, thanks to the intensive brothers and JK who talked to me about it, because they were compassionate enough to be sensitive to my hurt, how to deal with emotions in a more compassionate and a more spiritual way. That was a big breakthrough.
Yeah, I remember that, brother. It was like it was heavy, but
That call specifically was
yeah,
very heavy.
heavy, yeah, man. And that's good. Like through that storm, you kind of like saw it more rational, right? Like, oh, I'm able to handle it. And those are the moments where I like to say, like moments like, oh, like this is what I was holding me back, or at least surface level. I thought it was one thing, but in reality, well, I didn't think about my parents actually affecting me in this way.
The thing is that the one thing that it really changed is my spiritual reboot capital. Because at that point, I had worked a lot, disregard of where I was. I had put a gigantic amount of effort in all spheres of my reboot capital, except spiritual reboot capital. The only thing that I had really done at that moment for myself was to become an ethical vegan. But even then, spiritually speaking, it was not enough because I was somewhat of this, unfortunately, at least inside, angry activist. But I needed something that gave me more comprehension and compassion too, which was reading Letting Go and getting told also, being in the mind space, okay, this is what you need to do.
No, man, Letting Go is my book, man. I love the book. It's really good. Yeah, bro. Like the spiritual aspect is, I agree. Like that's something that we kind of save for last, right? Or most brothers that I seen kind of do that last.
Oh, yeah.
And that's okay, right? Because we kind of want to see what's like your physical. We could see, right? Things that we could see are the things we want to work on. But when it's internal, we don't really see it, right? It's like, oh, and then when you start to be like, oh, I'm not really kind to myself. I'm actually treat myself pretty harshly. And that's a reflection how I treat others sometimes, right? I disregard their emotions because I disregard my emotions. And it's like, oh, and you start to understand, like, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should show more compassion.
Yep. Agreed. The thing also is that if you're able to any brother who's watching this, if you're able to focus on your spiritual reboot capital, because what you want to do is going inside you, you're gonna have ridiculously faster results that are way deeper and long lasting, sustainable, because it's not gonna be all these things that you will have to do according to you, because you have to do them. And like you're gonna feel relentless because it's one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. It's gonna be okay, that's the core of my life. Then how do I produce this tree out of these roots that I've put for myself, thanks to my spiritual reboot capital work? This is why it took me so long.
No, and that's true, right? I agree. Like when you kind of work more inner work, that's your best like bang for your buck. But sometimes we're not ready for it, right? Or we're not conscious enough to understand that. So it's kind of like, hey, like in this case, this was probably your stepping stone to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should work. If it wasn't maybe for joining the intensive, I probably wouldn't even paid attention to the spiritual side, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah. But no, brother, that's some good insight, man. We could talk all day about, spiritual stuff. But brother, so what other like wins or breakthroughs that you feel like you want to share here?
About the intensive specifically, I would say that a thing that changed a lot, that is humongously different, is that when we're doing the live Wednesday calls and every brother shares their win, their lesson, and or where they're at in their reboot, the amount of self-awareness is just so admirable that, when you envy someone and then a step above, it is so admirable. You just cannot go into envy. It's just so great. Everyone who shares is this way. Everyone. So like one after the other, after the other, after the other. And so what happens is that I was getting hit with all these repetitions of like brothers who showed incredible amounts of self-awareness, of vulnerability. And after that, obviously, I'm in the right environment with these guys. So I ended up having that, having much more self-awareness, more vulnerability, more honesty with myself.
I would say that's one of like the best things, right? To kind of see that.
Oh, oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. And
You know,
how is that? So as a result of like attending these calls, how have you shown up to like in your profession, right? Like, or in just your day-to-day life, how has that like changed?
it has changed in the fact that I became a much more accepting person in the sense that whatever life has thrown at me, I was accepting it way better. And even if I was not accepting and I was not realizing that I was not accepting it, it took me a much shorter amount of time to realize, oh, I'm not accepting it in reality.
Yeah, so accepting is more open-mindedness is what you are showing up as more now. And that's good, man.
Yeah.
And so and having that open-mindedness, how emotionally, how do you feel?
Oh my God. I feel so much better. This is crazy. It's literally crazy. I used a lot emotions to have energy for the best and for the worst. So in my life, this is why, for example, when I was experiencing a strong emotion, I would identify with it. And even if I didn't want to, I was still identifying with it. And that makes me think of another humongous win that I cannot skip, which is meditation. Meditation, so the intensive is where I really started to meditate much more, 20 minutes every single day, not just 10 minutes when I used to do that before, but also more internally. For example, with Orestes, at some points, I did some kind of name validate feel in my body sensations to become more myself and allow not to be lost into a big issue that I had in my life. Also, I started to practice meditation in total silence so I can really be tuned in myself. At the beginning of every Live Wednesday call, we do a mindful check-in. So it's another repetition of how to meditate in a way that I can observe my life rather than react to it.
Yeah. I love that. I don't even want to add to that. That's really good. Like, and I could feel that from you, because the Simon that I met when he joined was like, yeah, this isn't. I was like, bro, you gotta slow down, man. Come on, like you feel, and then, but that's okay, right? Because I feel like everyone's like this when we're like coming from a place of analytical, right? We want to analyze, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's a place for that. But if that's all you do, you're trying to think your way out of an emotion, you're going to get stuck, man. That's like, so you're going to hit a wall each time watching the same cartoon over and over. So
Yep.
the fact that I seem to change, bro. It's like, it's day and night basically, because
Definitely.
you're owning more of your, it's not that you never lost it. It's like you recognize that you have that strength, that love within yourself already. And
Yeah,
you believe the illusion that like, oh, this person made me feel this way, right? Or this person did this to me. Well, yes, it's not right, but how we perceive it or the meaning we give it is just as important as what they did. So
yeah.
like to see that you're kind of, you took that off, man. You took it with it. You ran with that. And that was the key thing for you, man. Like just being able to recognize like, hey, you're in control. And when you realize you're in control in certain areas, like, oh, I don't have to necessarily control what others are thinking about me or feeling, right?
Exactly. And it made me also realize another huge win in the intensive. Joining the intensive made me become a much deeper human being in the sense that sometimes when we get presented let's call it reality, or like for a situation, actually. Yeah, it's a much better word. Usually we are going to have a lot of black or white thinking about it. that we're not gonna recognize. And joining the intensive didn't only make me so much more able to like stop having the black and white thinking, but actually be much more aware of all the gray nuances and realize that this is where the gold is. Because sometimes we think it's about that, but in reality, it's more about that.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man. Like you can't make this stuff up. It's like, oh man, like we think one way and it's like, oh, but in reality it's like you said, right? Like, oh shit, it's actually this. And those are like, that's just life, man. Like I feel like we're trying to control life in a way that's like predictable. And as we know, like hey, you get hit, you get injured, and you're like, did you predict that? Like no, some unexpected things happen sometimes where it kind of challenges us to either we run away from the group in this case, right? Since it's kind of like in a reboot context, and we run away, or we actually say, hey guys, I feel this way. I'm just having a rough day, right? And I think every brother support you and be like, hey man, we're not trying to fix you or trying to make it better.
No,
Like, hey, just right. It's like that level of loving. Where you gonna get that, bro? Like, I feel like it's even in an online aspect. It just it's very effective. So, and you have that heart, bro. Like that's something that I noticed. A brother like yourself, you're a big-hearted person, and I'm the same way. Like we have a lot of similarities when it comes to like feeling, and that's our superpower. Like and owning that more and not making it like, oh, it's the worst thing because I could feel a lot. Like no, if anything, I have the capacity to hold feelings a little bit more than the average person, right? And it doesn't make us better or a bad person. It's just like, hey, I'm able to do it. So why not use our, like, what did JK say? Make our weaknesses our greatest strength as we perceive it. But brother, any other wins that you would like to share to the world here, the reboot world, or the people that are watching?
My other win is that over time, I was able at some point to pretty much completely stop watching pornography. This is where I'm at the moment. The last time I relapsed is like probably 2 months ago. And the thing is that ever since that time, because I've been able to be more mindful, to be more compassionate, I accept my urges and I observe them. And because I internalized how important it is, because I've seen other brothers and JK and you and Chris do it, what started to happen is that the focus I was putting on pleasurable things is now put on deep things. Like I watched today this episode of Black Mirror, and it made me connected genuinely to my beliefs, and I want to make art about it. I want to write songs about it. I want to live my life about it so much more. So, and I've been watching these YouTube videos about how to be productive that I just keep watching them when I know it's a good time to watch them. So I am way more mindful and way more focused about it. My subconscious is like, okay, this is important. I'm obsessed over it. Kind of almost the same way that I used to be obsessed over porn. Which is great because now I'm obsessed with the right things and the healthy things.
That's good, man. Here you go. I love that. And that's like something that, hey, through that pain, bro, you're not, I wish I could just snap my fingers and be like, yeah, you don't have to go through pain. Like, hey, sometimes that's just how it is. And this is what, as a result of you not giving up and persevering, that's why you're in this space, bro. You put in the hard work. It wasn't just like you joined the program and you magically were better. Like, no, right? You put in work, and it's showing, and you're reaping the benefits from it. So, yeah, brother, you're awesome, bro. Like, I have nothing but great things to say about you. Maybe the implementation days, I'm like, man, this guy. Nah, I'm just chilling.
Well, it was more like this guy.
This boy. Oh, it's Simon, man. Let's see what Simon has to say today. I'm just playing, man. No, you're you're a big heart. I always loved you, man. And but brother, so I like ending these calls with like, what is someone that's in your situation or struggles, right? Struggles with what you went through, specifically with resisting just practicing a spiritual practice, which doesn't have to include like church or anything like that, right? Just being more compassionate. And then part of them knows like, hey, maybe I should do this, and it's calling to them, but they're resisting it. Even perhaps even joining a program like the intensive, like what would you tell that brother?
This is gonna sound very weird because I just watched an episode of Black Mirror, but here's what I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
This world is changing at a rate that in 5 or 10 years, there's the legit possibility that we end up doing nothing. Mark my words. This is a possibility. And we end up not working anymore. Genuinely. Human beings are not ready for this. We are not ready to just observe our life being just being. We are not. People will go crazy. But in this program, we learn how to be mindful about it. We learn to be also at the same time in charge of our lives if we actually choose to have a productive life and to be go-getters. And because of all these reasons that are touching at all of the aspects of life, physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, and all that, like you're going to find outstandingly amazing keys to really have a life that is worth living despite every terrible things that could happen.
That's true. I won't even add to that. So, brother, thank you, man. I really appreciate you. We could go off on many like topics here. What and your pretty much your takeaways is like mindfulness and being compassionate and self-aware is what kind of led you to this state, right? To where you're have more clarity, more certainty in your life. And brother, I can't wait to like see what you do with your life, man. I know you have gigs and you're living the life, man. Like that rock and roll life, if you will. I kind of like it when you share that because I like music, so I always like hearing you like you. I always remember you say I have perfect pitch. Like you say that with pride, and I love it. And it's like, oh damn, that's awesome. And but bro, you're like I said, you have a big heart, bro. You are making an impact in this world, and bro, and I wish nothing but great things for you, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, brothers. Thank you for watching, and Simon, once again, brother, appreciate your story, man.